Horizon 5's newly updated sound design means that almost all of the cars from previous games sound so much better. I wanted to take a look at some of my new favourites and some cars that I think everyone can agree just sound awesome. So here is my top 10 best sounding cars in Horizon 5. Starting us up, we have the iconic Audi RS3 with its wicked sounding inline 5 engine. They've managed to keep the low down grunt with a nice little bit of turbo whine at the top end. Most car guys will have seen an RS3 ripping around their car meets and just how much of a presence it really is. In the case of Horizon 5, it sounds almost as good, but not quite. Like a couple of others on this list, I think this one sounds better in cockpit view, so if you have a wheel, you're definitely in luck. I specifically didn't put top 10 best sounding engines in the title of this video for what we have at number 9. The Rimac Concept 2 is one of 3 all-electric vehicles in the new game. Now bear with me here for a second, because I don't know if you've had the chance to drive this Rimac yet, but this thing absolutely flies. It reaches its top speed of 261 miles an hour in 14 seconds, which is absolutely bonkers. But the best part of this car's sound isn't the acceleration, but the deceleration. Listen to this. I swear to God, this thing sounds like an actual spaceship. Number 8, we have an interesting one I didn't think I'd put on this list, but I've been having way too much fun with it, and that's the Datsun 510. This little beast with its puny inline 4 engine has become quite popular among people who want to restore them and even give them some updated bodywork. Like a bunch of other cars in the game, you can do that to this one too. But the best part is changing the intake and exhaust. Doing that, you can get a much more meaty engine sound. Even though it has less power than a stock Miata, this thing looks super sick and sounds awesome. If I didn't put an Italian V8 on this list, it wouldn't really be a list, would it? The Ferrari 488, with its twin turbocharged 3.9 litre engine, is one of the best sounding V8s in Forza Horizon 5. With a change in exhaust, it sounds even better. The only problem is that the 488 suffers from really only sounding good when it's under load. Idle revving, it gets a bit washed out. But as soon as you put that power on the road, it becomes a screaming beast with easily one of the best sounding blow-off valves in the game. You know I had to put an American V8 on this list somewhere, and it's probably going to piss off the Ferrari fanboys that I put it higher on the list than a Ferrari, but the last two cars are pretty much interchangeable for me. When you fit the Demon with an exhaust, it sounds much more like what you'd expect from a typical American big block V8, just chugging through the revs. The problem comes at higher RPMs and when you shift. With how fast dual clutch gearboxes are nowadays, this thing feels like it takes an eternity to change gears, but that's a small gripe. And anyway, Listen to that idle. Totally makes up for it. At number 5, we have the Bugatti Divo. While it's not the most recent delivery from Bugatti, they've done a really incredible job refining the look since the Veyron. This thing has the same massive 8-litre quad turbocharged W16 that the two previous cars enjoyed. And goddamn does it sound incredible. Kind of sounds like a mix between a train, a jet fighter, and a really angry lion. And when it backfires, you can almost feel the shake coming from the screen. It drives well, it sounds good, and it's fast as all hell. Next up, the iconic Sesto Elemento from Lamborghini. I mean, what can't be said about this car? Italian, V12, iconic Lamborghini styling, aerodynamic to boot. I mean, you can pretty much just keep your finger on the accelerator and drive this thing as fast as you want around any corner. It sticks. And why wouldn't you want to do it when it sounds like this? Now, number 3 here, bit of a curveball, but let me explain. The RX-7 and the RX lineup in Mazda are some of the only cars that have this incredible little Dorito engine, and boy am I glad that they put them in. Most engines, you know what to expect. The rotary engine is so unique I couldn't not put it on this list. Now obviously this car isn't going anywhere near as fast as others, but if you're gonna be going around a track way slower than everyone else, better be damn sure you're gonna be doing it in style. This might be a contentious one to put at number 2, but I think most people can agree with me that the fiery, pop-banging little 4-cylinder engine in the Focus RS, it's pretty damn wicked. Like a couple of others on the list, this is a car that's begging to be driven from a third-person view, since most of the little bangs are deadened when you go inside the car. Add a sports exhaust, maybe a race intake, and go rip up the streets of Mexico and piss off all of the residents with your sick sounding little backfires. Now, I legitimately think I would have been crucified if I hadn't put this in number 1. And how could I not? Clearly even Playground Games agrees with all of us here, because this is one of the only cars I've come across where the sports exhaust and intake don't change a thing with the sound. I think everyone agrees that this F1 sounding car is one of the best things to have blessed the modern car scene in quite a while. So that's it. What did you think of my rankings? Were there any you think that I missed? Any that you disagree with me on? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other rankings you'd like to see, drop them below too so I can take a look.